Good morning, good life. I just did that thing where you like turn the camera on and then walk into frame like you had no idea your camera was on. That will be the only staging happening in this video. Let me start this by saying if you you're gonna learn something, probably, because that's just how I'm programmed. But I have no idea what you're gonna learn from this video. If you don't have a lot of patience, this isn't gonna be the video for you. I really just wanted to show up on my channel. I've been out for a couple of weeks, initially because I'm doing some deep work right now on a project that I've been working on for so long. I will drone on about that some other time. I will be updating you about that very soon. Maybe I'll say something in this video, I'm not sure. Not yet. It was initially very much deep work, but there's a lot going on in the world right now. And I've just, in the midst of the deep work, also taking some time to do some meditating and some reading and just reflecting about what's going on and what's important to me. And so there was just not like this intrinsic need to teach something new on a Sunday morning that just felt natural to me. And that conversation in my mind, like, why is there not something natural coming to me right now that could be helpful to people? Because I don't think disappearing is helpful, but I also have just been programmed to have something really worthwhile to say in order to offer a video to the world, so that there's some kind of solution to a problem always when I upload. And I thought, that's really interesting. Why do I have to solve problems all the time? Why? Who told me I had to do that? But that's just how I've always thought about content creation, like for the longest time. And that is, I think it's just a really interesting question to ask. Some people solve problems with comedy. Some people solve problems with coaching. Some people solve problems with meditations and affirmations and music. And so, I don't know, we're all solving something when we're watching something, right? Maybe it's that we just don't want to be alone with our thoughts. And so we turn on something, a YouTube video, music, binge a show, whatever. But the conversation was really interesting for me because it was like, why am I not worthy of showing up on my own YouTube channel? Unless I have like some key issue that I'm solving in the way that I always have. And this has really gotten me thinking about sort of like the evolution of my channel and where I would like it to go. Because every once in a while I toy with this idea of like, what if I just quit? Like, why am I doing this? It has always been a marketing platform for me. It's always promoting something because I'm not an inherently like attention grabby person. Maybe you've not gotten that impression from me, and that's totally fair because I'm an online creator. So that screams ego and needs attention. Totally understand. I'm just gonna say from my own personal experience, I don't feel like I am like that. I just genuinely use tools for what they're good for. But I also appreciate the mutual agreement that comes with that. And so that's why I'm always trying to solve problems with my videos. But I was like, yeah, but I just feel like there's more to this story than that. And so I just thought this conversation would be really interesting, and maybe it's interesting to you or maybe it's totally boring. But why is it that I have to show up a certain way on my channel? And so I wanted to ask myself that question. I'm basically asking myself that question out loud with you right now because I'm really tired of feeling like I need to be enough all the time. I don't know about you, but it's a lot and I'm kind of over it, like proving enoughness. And I'm like really tired of proving it to myself, which is genuinely the most important person I have to prove it to. But I have figured out in the last few years, while that's one issue, I've also noticed that I'm having to prove enoughness to other people, and we all do it, but like in more ways than I had, I don't know, before the last few years. I think a lot of things have happened these past few years for all of us to reevaluate things in our lives. And so when you're reevaluating and you feel like you're on shaky ground and everything's sort of like in question around you, it's very natural to start to like lose your bearings on things that you used to have pretty solid footing on. Or at least that's what I'm telling myself right now. Specifically on the content creation front. And maybe there will be some content creators in the community who can relate to this. I started to feel like I could only be who I was if I did everything a certain way. Like I really felt like it wasn't just good enough to have a great idea to share. I had to share that idea in a certain way with certain parameters. The video could only be so long. It had to start a certain way. The thumbnail has to look like this. It needs to be edited like this. I have to look like this. I have to put this much on. Like there were so many things, and it's like you take this idea and you just like extinguish it because you're adding so many parameters to it already. And I started noticing that a number of years ago, and I just kept pushing through because I was like, well, this is the formula. I wrote a book about it. Vlog like a boss. This is the formula. This is the formula. Just do the formula. It's what works. The formula works. But now, like seeing what's happened with content creation and the internet, and there was a time when I would look like the crazy person, which I think you probably think that about people anyway, but I was the crazy person in 2008 that was floating a camera around all the time and filming people and filming myself and making videos, and everyone's like, what are you doing? And now you see it all the time. It's just with phones. You might think that person's crazy, but you kind of understand because you see that it is now a very common career or side hustle for people. And now you have such a huge group of people that are doing this, and they're all following whatever the rules are, whatever the blog posts say, whatever the TikTok strategy says, whatever the agent's saying, the manager, whatever the platform is saying. They're following all of these rules and they're putting themselves in a box. And whenever they hit success, they have to take that same thing and repeat it over and 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 over again. You see the same thing from the same people all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that if they're happy. But like, if you are truly creative in your bones, saying the same thing all the time when you have so much more to say is not that fulfilling. Saying the same thing all the time and feeling like you've graduated from that season of life is not fulfilling. This is the funny part, is like I am actually not over the types of things I've talked about. If like a friend or an audience member sends me a message on Instagram and they ask me a question like, do you have any advice about YouTube? I will go back to my 2010 days and I will rattle off all this information like, this is what I think, you should try this, this would be really helpful, like this will help you get a little head start, love this, here's a hack. Like I nerd out. Super happy to talk about it. If anybody asks me my biggest productivity tip, somebody just asked me to contribute to their book the other day. I recorded an audio message for her. What is your feeling about goal setting? What do you do to set goals? I just like, without even thinking, recorded a 20-minute note. And now she can take that content and turn it into book content because it just is so intrinsically me. When somebody asks me a business question, I have entrepreneurs in the family. I have very high up executives in my friend base that are working for a business and trying to help them succeed. They ask me any question, I will just ooze that information. It is so natural to me. And I love having all these different experiences, all these different talents, all these different skills that I can share that value. But then I come to YouTube and I'm like, well, if I'm gonna post a video today, well, it has to be this kind of thing in this kind of way and this and I haven't figured out vertical because I don't like even falling down the vertical rabbit hole because I don't like who it makes me become. I don't like what I'm absorbing. What was that? Something fell. I don't like accidental viewing because then I end up with a lot of ideas and a lot of like things that I'm supposed to be worried about or mad about. It's like, okay, I can only go so far down that road. So my personal bias is keeping me from posting short form content in a lot of cases, whether it's YouTube shorts or TikToks or whatever. And I really don't like that about me because I'm thinking to myself, I feel like I can't post a Instagram reel because it's gotta be like all these other rants that are going on. Everyone's just yelling at the camera. Everyone is just yelling. because that's how you get attention. And I don't want to do that. I really don't like that. The videos I have that I'm like, wow, that was algorithmically very good in short form, I can't stand watching them because I think they're cringy AF. Cringy AF, because they are such a manufactured version of like who I was in that moment. My whole point being is that the industry is completely dependent on everyone staying in their lane. And that is so boring. Proving enoughness is bad enough. Proving enoughness on your own presence online is not something I'm in the business of doing anymore. I don't care. Like, I don't need to post videos. It's why I can just go on without them. But it also feels really important to me sometimes to be able to communicate with this audience. And so I want to share myself. I want to share my life. I want to share what I've learned, and I want to do it in a way that's just natural to me and not designed to hit. I don't care if it hits. If you like my books, buy them. If you like my planners, buy them. If you like my channel, subscribe to it. If you don't, that's okay. I think I'm just realizing that it's okay to post something and not be worried about, does it work the way it used to? Because I don't work the way I used to. It's like, it's not even just like postpartum and having a baby and moving states, and like, there have been so many changes in my life. It's not about those things, and it is about those things, all at the same time, because they are shaping me into where we are at this season of my life. I can hold on to old things. I can hold on to previous moments. I can hold on to where I'm from. I can hold on to all this stuff, but all I'm doing is holding on to boundaries and limitations that are keeping me from going forward in my life. And if I do the same thing on this channel, I just think it's going to be boring for everyone. So basically, I don't know what my point is, but I just hope that if you're feeling like limited right now in the same way that I've been feeling limited in how I express myself online, then hopefully that's helpful to you today. I guess my objective with this video is that I'm just gonna share what I feel like. And I run the risk that you don't care. And I am at peace with that. It's still totally within my nature to have something to offer that's tangible, but I just want to like free myself of what that tangibility is, and I want to try new stuff. Like, I just want to try new stuff, and sometimes I'm just going to try it and I'm not going to tell anyone about it, and other times I'm going to try it, I'm going to rave about it here. And I don't know if it's all gonna fit into the same perfect little box that you would have liked to put me in before. But I just don't like boxes anymore. I just wanna try new stuff, and I just wanna be genuinely excited and happy and unafraid that I'm gonna share some happiness here that's gonna upset someone else. That's going to make someone feel less than. That's going to make someone feel like they don't belong here anymore. I can't control how other people feel, but I can control whether or not I invite you in to be a part of my life, which I really genuinely want. And I can do that better by like not trying to hide parts of me that I'm excited about. Like, can we ask ourselves, like, when was the last time you were excited about something? Like, excited? Lately for me, I'm just excited because my kid is talking more. So when she says things and I'm like she's in that moment of her life where she's been babbling for a while, but she'll babble like she really just spoke to me in English or Italian, unclear. And and I'll be like, yeah, I totally agree with that. I think you should do anything you want with your life. And we'll just have a conversation. That's exciting to me. She also learned OHIO, which if you're from Ohio and you're a Buckeye fan, then you know that's a big freaking deal. That was very exciting for me. Like, there are things that are very, very, very exciting for me. I get excited when I like cook something and it comes out good. I'm like, oh, I did that. Like, that's exciting for me. But like, you would never see that here. And you would never see it on my Instagram, and you would never see it anywhere else, because it's like, first of all, I want to be able to appreciate it myself. But second of all, I then say like, I genuinely appreciate this, but I don't think anyone else would appreciate it. So I don't have to prove that I appreciate it by having other people appreciate it, but also because it doesn't fit in the box, I'm not going to post it. Like, that's so annoying. That is so annoying. So I don't know. Maybe I'm asking for permission right now. I don't think I am, but I can see how it could come off that way. And if there is a permission slip being asked, it's just like permission to go rogue, because I don't know what I'm gonna post next. I don't know what it's gonna be about. I do want it to be more often. I wanna share beautiful things going on in my life. And it's not like, I don't even know how to, it's not about anything except for just offering an invitation. And I hope that that really comes off. That's my assignment, right? Like, what I would hope for myself is that if I don't have this like tangible little exercise or thought exercise to do like for you, then I hope that when I'm just sharing something that's happening for me and might be happy or might not be happy, I personally just don't think it's worth sharing drama, so you're probably not gonna get that out of me. But if there is something happy going on and I just wanna share it because it's because I'm showing you that it's all about the journey. Something happy doesn't mean I hit some huge milestone. I hit some like revenue goal or milestone of subscribers, or I bought a house. Like, it's not about that. It's like, no, this is a part of the journey. Like, a happy freaking moment is happening in the journey. And that's the whole point of this thing. That's the whole point of this existence. I don't know like where I'm going with this video at all. I think I've just needed a moment. I needed like a moment of just like word vomiting. Because this is not something you can package. Like, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of like being packaged goods. Like, I'm not. It's called Amy TV. It's just gonna be what it is, and that's that. So I don't know. If you're interested, then here we go, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know what's coming, but like, when do we ever? And the more I feel like I've got to compartmentalize this brand, the more I feel like I have to have control over my life. And I don't know about you, but I don't have control over my life. It's just kind of happening. And I want to live in the moment more, and I just want to go with it more. And I want to do things that, you know, I wouldn't have used to. But I also still want to listen to my gut instinct when I'm 100% not going to do something that I'm not interested in. And I think that that is the kind of example that we need right now, is like doing something because it makes you happy, not because it's proving your credibility or popularity or whatever. I hope this made some kind of sense, because I'd really like to continue sharing parts of myself with you and anything I learn along the way, so that we can be a part of each other's chosen family. And I think we need to have more people in our lives that are genuinely sharing who they are unapologetically. I don't think that means making an ass of yourself, but I do think it means just, this is who I am, this is how it's going. Take it or leave it. Because everything that's perfectly packaged online is painstakingly packaged that way. And no matter how glorious it might seem to have any kind of job, every job becomes a job over time. And I think whatever you have control over, you should continue to keep that control over it. And what I do have control over is what I share with you. And so I'm kind of trying to take that control back, if that makes sense. So if you're watching this video or any video I make in the future, wow, I hope I filmed that. I looked up and I was like, there's no clock running. I have no idea the last thing you heard me say, but I appreciate you. If you're here, then you want to be here. And I love that. And my videos are probably not going to be viewed by that many people, but that's okay with me because that means that you're my person, you're in my family, and I like to keep my circle tight. So we're going to keep it tight. I'm sitting in my hallway, if you haven't noticed. This was my genius idea. We have this terrace in front of me that we never go out on because it's just like this, it's kind of just random. And so I was like, what if I put a desk in front of this terrace, and on my right is Bianca's like play area. So it's nice because I'll sit here and do a little bit of work, not a ton, because I don't want her to think I'm always on my computer, but I can do a little bit of stuff when she's sitting over here playing because she's just so good at just sitting and reading books. Obsessed. Like firstborn energy, loves books. Like what? How did I get so lucky? So it's great. Like there's a whole area for her to play here. I can keep an eye on her. She's gated off, so you can't see it, but there's a lot of stairs over here. She's gated off in here, so she can't just like take off. But it's right next to her bedroom. My bedroom's down there. This is the lot. Like it's just like fun. I feel like it's like the control center for the second and third floor, really. So I like it. And the other thing is that when we usually talk, I'm in my basement. I'm in the basement where I have a set. I've got my standing desk. I've got my big iMac. I've got my, you know, lights and all it. Like it's hard to go down there when you're not filming. When you go down there, it's like, it's a whole production. If I just want to sit at my computer and like write, respond to a couple emails, do some pondering of ideas that I have or make some plans, it's just like not the space for it. This feels so much more like airy, and like, I'll kind of show you over here. So we moved this picture from the living room picture. It's like art. Sorry, there's no light on me now. Hold on. Okay. We moved this from the living room. I still have to replace that. And just added a little bit of just stuff over here. But there's the desk, and my light's still here from something I had to shoot a couple days ago in front of this terrace. And so it's just like nice because it just feels like more calming than sitting at like a massive production situation, standing desk, lights attached to the desk. Like I can't just like sit there and get in the mode. But when I sit there and I do editing, I'm in the mode. Like it's an editing bay. It's a suite where you film and you shoot and you edit, and that makes sense. But when I'm just trying to be like chill, this is the spot. So I decided I'm going down to the basement now after all that talk of the basement. Oh, we need to fix that color here. Better. Looks more like a basement. Okay, so welcome to my little closet. When I was living in Florida, I was recording the audiobook for 365 days of Good Morning, Good Life. Well, it was a little, actually there were quite a few people who were members of Shine Squad who got to listen to those audiobook entries as they came out every day. So they basically got the audiobook experience because they would get a new podcast with that day's reading. So anyway, I just was so run and gun at that point. Some of those entries were recorded in my garage. Then I moved to the closet. There was a point where I was someplace else. Like all of those files were such a mess. And so it was just too hard to get them to sync up and match and be the audio quality that they need to be for Audible. So I created myself a little makeshift, it's so makeshift, like don't make fun of me, please. This makeshift audio studio for me to re-record the audiobook. So that's what I've been up to in all of my deep work. I come in here, I vacuum out the spiders. Poor things. They're not very many, but when they are around, they're here. And I have been recording the audiobook. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I've been doing a month at a time, and they take about an hour and a half each, 30 to 31 days. And so, yeah, every day just chipping away at that. And I'm really excited because that's what I've been wanting to share with you, is that the audiobook for 365 Days of Good Morning, Good Life is finally coming. And it's actually gonna be ready to listen to by the start of the year. Please, please, please let it be ready. No, but it really will be, because it's coming along very, very well. So this is where I've been spending my days lately. With this microphone. Check. Check, 1, 2. Ooh. Tight quarters in here. I can't believe I squeezed you in. I'm gonna need to turn on Do Not Disturb. No text messages. Okay. Check. 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 Let's go. Part 9, September. And that's it. I'm just kidding. Oh, no, this is just a very small moment. This is the hard part. Okay. September 1st. Seeking perfection leads us to pressure, not purpose. Overcoming perfectionism is a lifelong challenge. Perfectionist tendencies come from years of limiting beliefs that we've accepted as gospel. We place immense pressure on ourselves to hide our flaws, exceed every expectation, and avoid failure at all costs. The race to maintain a perfect appearance inevitably leaves us feeling defeated. But despite our exhaustion, we keep at it because it's all we know. Reject the lie that everything will fall apart if you don't meet impossible standards. Remember this fundamental truth. Fundamental? Remember this fundamental truth. You're already enough. There's no human on the face of this earth that's achieved perfection in all they do. You are no exception. If that's the case, why should you take on that burden? In fact, many of the greatest leaders and most innovative individuals were the ones who accepted imperfection as part of the process, rather than a threat to it. No matter how little you've done, how much more you could do, or how different it feels from your norm, let go of the need to appear perfect. Replace it with complete and utter trust in yourself. When you show up, flaws and all, you can stop existing to perform and simply exist to enjoy. The stars aligned on that one. First of all, I only flubbed once. I really didn't flub. I just knew I could say it better. And how perfect is that entry for today's video? I wish I could read you all of them, but honestly, I'm usually not that good on one entry to like flow through the whole thing. I feel like that was a sign. I should probably leave you here. I have like 29 more to go.